Part 7. Welcome back. So we're back on the Dronsfield 12-inch roller hand mower, full restoration. So today we're going to regrind the cutting cylinder and sharpen the bottom blade. We're all set up, ready to go. So I'm going to take you into the grinding room and then we're just going to go through the grinders, show you what it's all about. Let's have a look. Right, so in we go. So we've got the cutting cylinder on the Express Dual. So this cutting cylinder, these Express Duals are rather good because you can grind the cutting cylinder as it is out of the machine, or if your bearings are okay, and quite often you can do in situ grinding. So you can do both with that, which is quite nice. A little bit of setting up, changing things over involved, but yeah, all fairly easy stuff. So at the moment I'm going to, you can see I've got the cutting cylinder in and it's on the blocks. We've got, at the moment, we've got a safety guard which I have it off for the purpose of this video, so you can see the cutting cylinder and the grinder in action. Normally, obviously safety, we would be putting, I'll show it to you down there, somewhere on the floor, we've got that guard that normally bolts to the front and it covers the stone. Safety is paramount. So anyway, so the Express Dual, it's 240 volt, which is quite nice. Run it off the mains. There are 3 motors on there, one that drives the cutting cylinder, one that drives the stone, one that drives the traverse. So once you've set it, then you need to go back every so often and wind the stone up to the cutting cylinder. Every so often you need to do that, and then check it. It shouldn't need too long, depending on how bad the cutting cylinder is, how long it is as well. If you've got something like one of these big Ransom's gang mower cylinders, they take a lot of grinding. But something like this, a 12-inch cut, they're fairly thin blades. Hopefully it won't be on there for too long. So, yes, that's the Express Dual. So we will get that going. So I'll show you how it all works. All quite exciting. So we've got our panel there. So first button at the bottom is our safety stop, stops it all. We've got the next one up, grinding wheel. And then the next one up is the cylinder. And then the top one is the traverse. So the first thing we need to do is we need to just set it. So the cutting cylinder is literally just kissing the stone all the way along. Very light contact to start with. And I've set the stops. Let's have a look. So we've got these little stops there, so it doesn't go all the way across and waste time. So we've got a stop there and a stop there. And then obviously the stone itself, we've got our hand wheels there, one on the right and one on the left. So every so often I'm going to just wind it so the stone is wound into the cylinder a bit. So I think we're all ready to go with this. So we'll do a little bit on this and then we'll get onto the bottom blade. So put you in a bit closer, you can see how it all is. So we've got our little driver there. The bearing blocks are mounted and it all turns quite freely. So I think we're ready for a try. So anyway, so let's have a go. So we'll start the grinding wheel first. We've got it switched on. So let's start with that. Cutting cylinder. So I'm just going to manually just press it across, in fact we'll just go a little bit so we're just touching. So at this point I'm going to set the traverse, so I'm winding the lock on and we're going to go up to the traverse. We'll just stop it, we'll see what it looks like. I'm going to take the stone away from the cylinder. Right, let's have a look. So we can see already, and being a fairly thin cutting cylinder, it's not going to take too much more on that. So what we're looking for is obviously a nice clean edge with a slight burr, and it needs to be even at all the blades obviously. So my guessing is there's maybe another 10 minutes there, and that'll be all right. In actual fact, before I stripped the push mower, it did sound quite good. So it's nice to know that it's not going to take too much to get that cylinder in tip-top order. So there we are. So that's the Express Dual Atherton and Ellis. So right now, let's go and have a look at the bottom blade grinder. So this is the bottom blade grinder, again Atherton and Ellis, or Bernard and Company, which are still going, making fine grinders. So this is the Anglemaster 2000. This one obviously does the bottom blade. So this one does need a coolant, this one. So the cylinder grinder doesn't, but the bottom blade grinder we've got coolant. So that's the only real difference. It's got a traverse, you can set it up, and then obviously you go back and wind the stone into the blade as you need it. So as you can see, I've got the block bolted and secure. I've checked it's nice and even all the way along, so it's both sides. And you can see the stone there. There we are. And again, like I say, it does have a traverse. So once we set it, we can sort of leave it for a bit and then do that. The difference with the bottom blade, we have got 2 angles to deal with. Not a problem, but both angles need doing to achieve a good cut. So what you've got, let's have a look. It is a new bottom blade on that one, but it will still need tickling up, and I'll show you what we're looking for. Let's have a look somewhere. I think I've got a bottom blade somewhere we can have a look at. Let's pop that down there. So what we've got, let's have a look. So yeah, so we've got 2 angles. We've got the front, and then we've got the top angle, if you want to call it that, and both are done round, I think it's about 5 degrees. So I'll get let's have a look. So what we're talking about, so the front edge is this one there, and then the top edge is this one there. So we've got, like I say, about 5 degrees on both. Now if we go back to the grinder, let's get my clamps off. Have a look. I've just been sticking my gauge up, but we can see, well, I'm in need of a new one. But if we have a look there, it's we can sort of see the chart. Let's have a look. More or less. Okay. So we're going to start with, we're going to start, I think, with that angle first, and then we'll turn it over and do the other one. So what we need to do firstly, we need to put some coolant in. Let's get the coolant going. I've got some mixed up. So you're propped up nicely. So let's have a look. So we're going to do the first one, which right. So let's have a look. It's a bit like the cutting cylinder. With just light contact to start with, and then we can, as we get going, we can wipe it on a bit. And we've got, very similar to the Express Dual, we've got some stops which we'll set once the traverse is going, and then we can leave it to it for a bit. So anyway, let's have a go. So we'll get the stone working first. Get the coolers on. if this had been a used bottom blade, I've got no doubt that this would need to be left longer on the grinder. But as you can see it's all the way along, no chips, and it's even. So what we're going to do, we're going to swap the angles over and do the next one. So let's have a look. This one's not so easy to see because we've got the blade carrier covering it, but hopefully we could just get to the tip. So again, we'll get the stone going. I've got the stop set either side, gauge the traverse lever, hope we've got some traversing. Have a look, see what it's looking like. It's looking pretty good. The right hand side there's a little bit more to be done on that, but not much, just a little bit longer on that. And then that will complete the bottom blade sharpening. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed the little grinding session, cylinder and bottom blade. So the next video will be probably getting some green paint on it. So we're making a bit of progress. And obviously the grass box needs addressing as well, which is quite dented. So still quite a bit to do. But anyway, nice to get the grinding out of the way with. I shall put them both on for a little bit longer, just finish them off. And then we're done with the grinding. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video, which should probably be part 8.